Supercharger's killing first with pretty much a sub survivor team except for Applesauce, which this game matters for him. So the subs are Costco, Dr. Pudding, and Mr. Mythic, or Mysterious Mythic now. And they're already in lobby, so it's just on my word they'll get it going, which I'll tell them to do now. Supercharger go with Trapper. So we saw a Trapper yesterday, and I didn't watch earlier games, so if someone played Trapper earlier, my apologies, but Junrei played Trapper yesterday and got a 3K with him. And I mean, a lot of good trap placements, and a lot of people stepped in those said traps. But right away, we already have 3 people working on 1 gen, none of which are Applesauce. So it doesn't really matter if Pudding gets off the generator for him for the last level, unless if he fails his skill check immediately. How bad of him. Trapper sees it obviously, but he doesn't care, as he's just going for trap placements currently. But not even still when it's popped is he interested in going for it, as he just grabs a trap and starts trapping around pallet, 2 pallet ways. Spots off both Apple and I believe that's Mythic. It is Mythic. Gets a screen off on Mythic and hits him for injured. Saw Apple over here, but he doubles back to maybe the gen. He's trying to make his mind up of who to go to. He sees Dr. Pudding over there in the distance and heard Apple right next to him, but kind of confused on what to do and where to go. Mythic's still injuring, just limping around. Costco on a gen in the middle of the field where Supercharger was. And Applesauce finds Supercharger and actually killer stuns him with the pallet. And I'm not sure if he was just hiding behind it or Supercharger just walked right into it. And Applesauce goes up into the crane and vaults the window, and it looked like a Supercharger would have gotten that hit right away, but it was like a centimeter off. And Apple tries to kind of mind game him around a tree. Maybe he knows that trap is here and throws down the pallet, not for the killer stun, but if he hadn't thrown that, he would have gone down there because Supercharger swung. So meanwhile he's getting chased, the rest of the survivors are still just going around doing generators, and already popped 2, which is surprising because Apple's only worked on 1, and that was like for half of 1. Apple trying to bait Supercharger into the pallet, and Supercharger not giving any leeway on that. He just he respected the shit out of it. Apple's still going around where both of gens have been popped, so I believe that it gets rid of a 3 gen because those gens were so close, and 2 people are just still working on generators without Apple and a solo, while Supercharger changes his target to Dr. Pudding here and almost tries to bait out a swing or a pallet drop with Dr. Pudding, but Pudding is not falling for it at all. Finally, Pudding goes on top, more of a necessity because he would have gotten hit before, and somehow Pudding doesn't step into that trap that Supercharger laid before. He nearly avoids it, and Supercharger swings at the pallet again while Pudding just continues to move on. Supercharger changes up target. Looked like Apple managed to find Costco and work on a gen with him, while Mythic is still injured, and Supercharger is now placing more and more traps around these generators that have already been 99. Pudding actually switching a chest and getting a commodious toolbox and finding Mythic to heal up, while Apple has a yellow flashlight and nothing else. But Costco of all people has max or full objective, and I didn't see what Applesauce has, but he has good boldness, that's for sure, after looping Charger around for a bit. Apple just waiting for Charger to kick me a gen and leave. 99. Nah, someone just disabling a trap there. That was Pudding, and Pudding looking to sabo the trap, but did not go for it and runs right into Supercharger and takes a hit, while the rest of the gang except for Mythic, go for generators. And Mythic, or not Mythic, sorry, Pudding running Supercharger around the shack, and he will go down here because there's no pallet. And he will be going into basement, actually. Mythic there to kind of, I don't know, show himself, maybe take it, just decided against it, as Costco 99 is a gem, not too far away from the shack. Applesauce crouching in the little corner, being observant, seeing Supercharger moving in slowly. Little boy's that aggressive patch where almost certain he knows where that trap is. And as Charger comes back for a look as Mythic and Costco 99 another gen. Apple is going for the save here as Supercharger goes to a gen and sees scratch marks around. Pudding being unhooked and just being healed and opting to go for the heal in the basement, which is risky play, but Supercharger is still far away from it, but he's heading back now. And here's the healing, in fact, which he will go and slap at least one of them. He blocked basement for a second, as if he was waiting for borrowed time, which they do not have, but actually managed to hit both of them, Dr. Pudding and Applesauce, and now elects to go for Applesauce, who takes him around to the buses and has a pallet to work with. Supercharger not respecting that pallet and gets killer stun by Applesauce there. So a little bit of boldness and a little bit of for Apple from that unhook, but finds Costco also in the back of the bus and takes a hit. And Pudding is actually saddling Supercharger's traps with a Commodious, one of the two, Commodious, is the ability to just, with the Commodious, I'm pretty sure you can disable all of his traps, if not a good portion of them. Two of them injured being Costco and Dr. Pudding. Supercharger really needs to get more hooks because he only has Dr. Pudding who is on hook for one time. But in that being said, Pudding and Costco find each other, so they'll be healed up with no response from Charger finding anyone else, and no one even working on the gens in the corner like Apple and Mythic are. And Apple actually has full, if not near max objective, so this is going well with him because he also, I would say, has full bolt too. He has like 2 killer stuns and got chased for a bit on Charger and then unhook. So point generation for Applesauce is going very well right now. Charger not finding anyone, except for he finds Applesauce with the corner gen by an exit gate, and close call for Applesauce's Charger swung at him on a window. Applesauce making away successfully though, but he's still getting chased and taking him to the buses, which he still has a pallet down that Supercharger actually ended up breaking it, and Applesauce trying to 360 there. But Charger changes his target to Mythic, who takes a hit and gives up pallet stun, but runs right into the trap. And it was like a reversal there because Charger was on the other side of the pallet, and Costco was there to unfree Mythic, but takes a hit and Mythic still goes down. But Applesauce is here to attempt the flashlight save, and he gets it with the vanilla yellow flashlight. So he gets full bold from that, and very good altruism for that, because he's the rescue. And they are attempting to double heal there, but Supercharger has no idea where to look, and he trapped. Supercharger is trapping the bus window. Just for anyone who goes back over there and has still a lot of pallets left on the map unused. Sees Apple and Pudding, and he was going to go for Pudding there, but finds Apple. As Apple falls to the window where he got and would almost go down here because he misplayed and thought Charger was coming from the other direction. And and Apple successfully killer stemming him at a pallet. While everyone gets healed up and a lot of these generators 99. I'm not sure if Apple saw that trap that was placed right there. He didn't. He's running right into it. So that's a good deviousness for Supercharger, who's only had 2 traps triggered this game, one by Mythic and this one by Apple. And as we saw there, Apple actually has full boldness. So he needs to not be chased anymore. And this was his first hook, so he's fine. We also were putting around sabwing another trap. Costco just hiding in the basement for whatever reason. And Supercharger actually went to go pick up the trap in there and spots Costco and gets a hit, as he also has full hunter and brutality points. Spots Pudding at the buses and will chase him, and he didn't re-trap the bus, but I don't think Pudding's taking that chance, and kind of did a little twirl there, but it's effortless because he would just go down here and be placed on hook. So the Superchargers, the game's kind of fully swinging back into his control again. It started off really slow for him, but the only thing that's pressing is that gens are pretty much all 99. So at any point, if like say someone dies, they just pop it all and leave. And Costco, by the buses, hears Supercharger place that trap, and I'm surprised Supercharger doesn't hear it, and Mythic just waiting for Pudding. Weird play by Mythic, almost seeming to farm Pudding, but lets go at the last second as Supercharger swings and just hits Pudding, but now is going to chase Mythic. As the unhook goes out and the trap disarmed by Costco, the 2 notifications makes him go back, spots Apple, Costco healing Pudding, and Supercharger just goes back to hit Pudding again, who I believe why he is tunneling per se Pudding is he sees that toolbox and knows that he was just sallowing his traps and just wants him dead. Wants him to feel the pain. But Pudding will loop him around the shack and actually window fakes him. But doesn't matter if he just goes down here again. Cannot hook him because he has not hooked anyone else, and there's still only 2 gens been done. But Pudding will be sliding in the meantime, and Apple and Costco with one another. It would be smart of them to not pop this generator, or Pudding is dead. And Supercharger makes his way exactly for that generator. Who did he see though? I think he saw Costco. Well, he actually didn't see anyone. He just goes back to kicking the gen. As Mythic is injured and not getting help, and Pudding slugged, but he gets picked up by Applesauce, who takes a hit. And with that with that heal and the hit, taking a hit, he has max ultras and max boldness and nearing max objective. Apple throwing down 2 pallets though, just because he didn't want to go down or thought that Supercharger was not going to respect it, but Supercharger just baits him out. He knew that he would throw them. So Applesauce not having really anything to work with besides the pallet he threw down, and Supercharger just disengages him. But goes back to the pallet just to break it. Supercharger going back to his traps just to replace in different areas. Pudding finding a trap out of the way of things and disarms it. With Supercharger noticing that and even seeing Pudding, just picks up the trap and goes on the hunt for him again. Charger knowing he's in the area, just does not know exactly where, and putting successfully losing him. Goes back to the generator and just stops it from aggressing. Finds Mythic though, and Supercharger swings at Mythic, gets the hit, and Mythic drops the pallet to get the killer slap. But with that pallet, breaking that pallet, Supercharger has max brutality, and I'd say almost around max 100 points as well. The thing he's severely lacking is both sacrifice and deviousness though, because he still has only 2 successful traps, and that's only 2k. As he sees Mythic on the other side of the bus, but the window is blocked there, so he has to go all the way around. Just when you think there's no more pallets, there's the pallets to be found, and Costco just slowly follows Mythic and throws the pallet in the Charger's face, but not before getting hit by Supercharger. As Pudding and Apple are topping out their objective and finally start popping generators. So this gives Supercharger the option to keep tunneling people off hook. As Mythic spots Costco and they heal each other. Supercharger staying relatively relaxed about these generators being popped, and no real answer to someone being hooked or anything. Just resets a lot of his traps and just hopes that they'll catch someone. But none of them really have, because they've been all these survivors have been so mindful of these traps. This Pudding is right next to one in applesauce. Spots one but doesn't disarm it because he doesn't need to, and just sees the gen that's digressing, and he just gets that up all the way. He could probably pop this. He's maxed in all 3 categories except for survival, so he just wants to get out, and he'll get 29,000. And he does exactly that. He just pops the generator and then disarms the trap and makes his way out of there. While no one is being chased right now. Maybe Dr. Pudding was found and just putting that out of there, but Pudding goes to a gen and pops that as well, or 99's of them actually. Supercharger spotting Costco by an exit gate generator. And barely made contact with Costco there, as it looked like he almost whiffed on him. But Costco will surely go down here, and he'll be on his side. Apple was maybe looking to get there in time for another flashlight save, but obviously that was not happening. But Mythic right there to just pick Costco off that hook. But Supercharger right there to spot both of them. And actually Dr. Pudding steps into the trap, not far from it at all, but he gets free with, I'm pretty sure, applesauce's help. But then again, Supercharger loses all 3 of them where they were and just picks up his trap again. He's finding his way back to where they're going to be, sees Mythic and Costco, and wants to get Costco and is refusing to hit Mythic. He's so determined to hit Costco and just was not going for Mythic at all. Mythic had just stopped in that doorway. That would have been like the best body block he could have possibly done. As Supercharger is max on Hunter and Brutality, but Applesauce is there for the flashlight save, but he misses it. Timing was off, and Supercharger just looks to the sky to dodge it. As Costco goes on for his struggle hook. And Applesauce is not dead on hook, so he can still be very bold here, but he doesn't need to because he has max ultras, and the rest of the survivors don't need these points at all. This game does not matter for them, but Apple is still there trying to help them with getting the double heal on Costco with Mythic. and Pudding just throwing back the pallet. And Supercharger's just standing there, and Pudding's injured. But Pudding is dead on hook, so if Pudding goes down and gets hooked, they will pop a generator and get out. And again, Mythic did an attempt to body block, but Supercharger just completely ignoring him once again just to get this down. And he finally hits Mythic just to be able to get him out of the way, and as soon as he did that, though, they popped the last generator and won by that very exit gate that everyone's around. Supercharger's still on the chase for Pudding to get him just killed, get him out of the game while they open the exit gates. Yeah, so Pudding goes down and will be picked up for his death hook as Mythic is healing himself with the yellow med kit and Costco opening the exit gate. Supercharger slapping Pudding on the hook just for the trap sabotage, and Applesauce just gets out. He secures his 29k, while the rest of the survivors are also just running out. Mythic is out and Costco is by exit gate, but not crossing that threshold, and finally does and just makes his leave. And that ends that. So Mythic actually came on top with the highest score of 29,785, and that is because he had a med kit and self-carried a lot of the times to get that extra survival points. But then again, this game doesn't matter for him, so the score is null. But Applesauce again coming in second with 29,000 flat. Costco third with 24,250. Dr. Pudding fourth with 17,569. And then Supercharger with a pretty okay score, like it's around the same score we saw with Junray's Trapper yesterday with 25,024. So Griff actually here elects to play Freddy, and we had two Freddys yesterday, both players being well, it was Red who was subbing, and then Costco was actually his main game. Immediately here, though, spots out Costco by a generator, and Costco will get hit here by Mr. Freddy.
Freddy's a pretty valid point in terms of points, Jen, because he's good for every category but sacrifice because he takes so long to kill.
Yeah, like I mean, pretty much when you get two people to struggle, so that like if they're next to he has already like max deviousness, so it's like his point progression in deviousness is like very strong in terms of pugs. But yeah, just the sacrifice is like what you have to watch out for, and he also struggles with hunter points. But that being said, he just gets Costco on the hook in like the first 30 seconds of the game, while the rest of the survivors, though, 3-man to generator cross map.
I think in some ways Freddy is a bit weaker than the Wraith.
His surprise, like him walking up on people, yeah, he's weaker in that term because you can see him coming, but like everything else I believe he's stronger at.
Well, in terms of pallet looping, they're the same strength and weakness.
Well, you has the added mechanic of putting people to sleep, so like that's the one thing, and he has the passive Deerstalker and passive Thanatophobia whenever he turns into dream state. But that being said, Costco being put back into dream state and taking a hit, and same with Mythic as he put into dream state. So he sees both of them currently, and sees Costco, but it's not going to go for him as he sees scratch marks in the middle of the shack. And someone working on a generator across there too. Spots Mythic out in the shack, and Mythic takes a hit. Spots out Apple in the distance, and Costco, and Dr. Pudding, and puts all of them asleep. So all 4 of them currently are asleep. or
And that's
transition
an
into
over.
sleep. Yeah. See, like already he has almost 3/4 of weakness, and Costco takes a hit and throws down the shack pallet almost unnecessarily.
The thing is, unless one of them finds a med kit in one of the 3 chests, they're gonna have to sacrifice some generator progression.
Yeah. Yeah, they're gonna have to. What I would think they should do is just get gens 99, and then once everyone is ready, like they just pop it in chains, because like they're already. One has been on hook, and everyone is so injured right now, and knows where everyone is. Well, only one person in dream state though. 2 now, because Mythic.
You gotta consider they don't have communication.
Yeah. But
They can't really communicate or strategy.
they probably have to go off of. They have to go off of what Apple does, because since they're all subs, whatever he does like sets the tempo of the game, because he's the only guy that has any say in it and needs these points. So if he's popping generators, people are going to start popping generators.
Yeah.
Mythic goes down to Griff by the shack.
I think Griff will get a 32K out of it. What's better?
He's on pace already to get it, because he's almost full deviousness. He's gonna have 2 hooks now, and only 1 generator has been done. With 3 people in dream state, healing, he knows where 2 of them are gonna be. Applesauce is right there for the unhook though. And as Costco snaps himself out of the dream state while Pudding is trying to on a generator. Apple moves in for the unhook on Mythic. And Griff spots out Costco again working on a generator. Costco didn't leave that generator after he worked on it. And
Is Griff playing a bit more of an aggressive Freddy, like not kicking the gens after he sees them?
Yeah, absolutely. He, in my opinion, like he's getting these hooks really fast and not like taking the time to kick gens, but even then, like he doesn't have to, because no one has been working on them a lot unless they've been put to sleep. But even then, they find someone to wake them up. And Costco goes down. He'll be on his 2nd hook, so he'll be on struggle.
It's not looking good for the survivors.
No, not at all. People are finally working on gens. Like Apple is working on a gen with someone else to get that up to 99. But Costco's already on struggle hook. Dr. Pudding has his gen at about 80%, while Mythic and Apple out there is almost ready to pop at like 95, but Griff is already there to put them all to sleep.
At this point, they're not going to be wanting the 99, they're going to be wanting to pop.
Yeah.
Like 2 gens left.
Exactly, they're gonna... If they don't do this, Griff will for certain get 32 here. 1 gen just gets popped just then. As he spots Mythic running for the unhook, but someone's already there, and Mythic takes part in the double heal, but everyone else will get put to sleep again. Costco, Apple, and Mythic. And Apple sticks the heal on Costco, and is able, even while transitioning the dream state, but Apple takes a hit regardless.
Ow. Is Griff respecting pallets, or?
I haven't really seen. He's been killer stone at least a couple times, but he's like mostly faking them out. Not hard, like respecting, like waiting, but he's faking people out with if he's going to attack or not. But saying that Apple goes down there by the basement with Costco still in dream state and Pudding and Mythic not, and both are fully held at full health. So gens are getting 99. That's really good. They needed that gen progression to be up. So I say they have, I think, 2 generators at 99, or at least 1.
The problem is, they may want to have one not 99, because if they 99 all of them, and they're all asleep, they're going to have to pop them all, and then they have no way of getting out of the dream state.
Right. As Mythic charges in for the unhook on Apple, Oh, he already gets saved by Dr. Pudding. And Griff is there to put them all to sleep.
Thing is, Freddy's weakness is altruism. Like, as long as it's not all the survivors in the match going for the unhook, like maybe just 2 and 1 in standby to wake them all up, that's his weakness.
So, Applesauce goes down in the basement and gets hooked consecutively with 3 gens still remaining, so I believe that's a penalty on Griff because he's not supposed to do that. But these generators are getting popped. Not getting popped, but getting 99'd at least, while Dr. Pudding, Costco, and Mythic are fully healed and out of dream state.
How's everybody doing in terms of boldness?
I've not been paying attention to that.
Because from what I'm understanding here, the chases aren't lasting that long, are they?
No. Griff either downs them really quick or just moves on. And he puts all 3 of them back to sleep. So Mythic, Pudding, Mythic, Costco, and Applesauce are all asleep. And Griff already has max's deviousness and his hunter points soon as well. Or not his hunter points, his brutality.
Yeah, because with Freddy, all you have to do is just hit people and you're guaranteed to have at least max deviousness and then, well, pip worth of brutality.
Mm-hmm. And Griff swinging on Costco, but actually hits the corner of the map, and Costco getting almost a pass, but Mythic is down, still on the floor, with Pudding rezzing him.
Thing with Freddy, having all the survivors in the dream state is a risk-reward kind of situation, because then they can body block you.
Yeah. They can't, but like, I would rather have them all in the dream state, because if I hit them, they're gonna, have to heal and stuff, and I still know where they are. And Griff chasing, I believe this is Dr. Pudding around, and Dr. Pudding just drops the pallet, not getting the killer stun, but just time to get away. As Mythic is still injured and not out of dream state, or not in dream state. Costco just manages to get himself out in dream state there. It looks like Pudding will go down here for his first hook, I believe.
The thing is, do they have enough? They have enough gens to have Hatch appear, right?
No. 2 survivors need to be dead.
Ah, alright. Well, the thing is, their priority is probably going to be keeping Apple alive.
Yeah. So far on Death Hook is Apple and Costco, so Apple has to play pretty immersed here to survive and get out and secure his win as in the Survivor bracket. He's already did strong enough to get that 29k in Survivor. Someone is opening a chest, Costco, and 3 people are in the dream state and 1 gen remaining, so if Costco or Apple go down, they're dead. And Griff is now super close to maxing Hunter and Brutality. Brutality certainly closer than Hunter, but all 4 people are now in dream state, so he knows where everyone is, with 2 people being injured, 1 dead on hook and 1 who hasn't been on hook.
Does he have 5k sacrifice yet, or?
No, I do not believe.
But he's got 2 of them on Death Hook, and then he got the first hook on not Costco, Pudding.
No, Pudding hasn't been on hook yet, I don't believe. Maybe, I'm not sure. I know for certain Apple and Costco are on their Death Hooks. We'll find out momentarily, because he finds Costco again anyway, so he will go down, and if he is put on hook, he'll...
Yeah. I mean, you're in my eyes and ears right now, man.
Yeah. So I'll tell you when this hook is, this hook goes out.
Alright.
Nope, not the 5k yet. Very close. He needs pretty much 1 more hook, but Costco is dead and out. He spots Dr. Pudding again on the side of the map that has no power. But it took a while to get the connecting Dream State on him. And Mythic has a 99 gen in the corner, so he could pop at any time. Pudding will go on his first hook here, as Apple is waiting.
I mean, that kind of brings up another weakness of Freddy. If they're on a side of the map with no pallets, there's still a chance they're going to be able to get to the other side, because you have to transition them, then catch up to them, then hit them.
See, Freddy is weak in terms of the victory queue, because like he's not as strong like killer, like he doesn't kill very strongly, but like he finds people, and like that point generation is so strong that like if I'm rank 1, I don't care if I don't hit like the points. But Griff spotting out Mythic in the shack puts him to sleep and takes a hit. And Mythic takes a hit. As Griff is still not max Brutality or Hunter right now. He's very close. He finds Hatch as well. And Griff looked like he was deciding who to go for, and as Mythic gets away, Griff heads back to Dr. Pudding, and Applesauce is there by this exit gate. And they both don't know that Griff is making his way back, but they hear his lullaby. He sees
The question is Apple going to risk it, or is he going to leave?
He is going to leave when he can, I believe. That 5k is so important. And Pudding takes another hit as the chase continues on Pudding, and Applesauce is out. And Applesauce is watching, and he sees he's just trying to stay hidden. His Pudding goes down again. Griff sees Mythic at the shack while Apple is still just watching and not making a move on that exit gate, but finally is now moving, as Mythic will go down.
Pudding's been having a bit of a rough time, hasn't he?
Guys, what's better, auto?
Yeah. And Applesauce, regardless if Griff found him now, will open this exit gate and is able to get out, and I wonder if he'll go through that. No, he goes back for Pudding to risk it, or gets this totem, actually, just to squeeze out any last little bit of points he possibly can.
Yeah, so he's risking a lot right now, though.
Yeah. He sees that he picked up Pudding. I believe that is Pudding. And yeah, Apple doesn't even have full boldness, and Griff spots out Apple and just forces Apple out, yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, Apple can try to squeeze out a bit more boldness, or you can take the 5k.
Yeah. So, and he just decided to take the 5k. And this will hurt Griff only because the loss in the sacrifice, and he might have actually gotten the max deviousness in Hunter there.
Yeah.
Not deviousness, brutality in Hunter.
Freddy kind of struggles with Hunter, because even though he takes a while to chase you and hit you, you can lose him pretty easily if the kill's not skilled enough.
And it only grants you the points when they're in dream state. Hunter chase points do not accumulate if he's chasing you and you're not in dream state.
Yeah, it doesn't even happen if you're just transitioning, does it?
No, as soon as they're in dream state is when it kicks off. But Apple there with the top survivor score of 22,957. Mythic second with 18,515. Pudding third with 14,605. Costco with 9,096. And Griff with still very impressive 30,359. And Mythic is our old good old spooky boy Michael Myers. Watching from afar, through the trees, through the bush. Look at some bush. He starts off by the shack. Already hears people working on the gen right close to him, and is just gonna try to stalk, but we got Pudding hiding behind a truck to block that. As the rest of the gang are on the gen, the Supercharger trying to find a home, a gen to call home. Mythic's still just chasing Pudding through the map, like pretty much the entirety of the map, trying to get some stock off. And actually, on the way to look for Pudding, he finds Supercharger peering away and re-finds Pudding again, and finally gets into stage 2 off of Pudding. Sees someone else's leg in the corner there, but doesn't pay attention to them. Just really wants Pudding, and he gets a hit off on Pudding by a pallet, with Supercharger there to throw down the pallet in Mythic's face. This will be, since they're out in the open though, he's going to get some real good stock off on Supercharger here. He's going to get tier 3 probably. No, instead Mythic just takes the M1 off on Supercharger. As Pudding's introduced to the chest, and Apple and Costco are just working on gens to 99 and pop them, but Supercharger basically just fed Mythic all of his tier 3, and so he's a tap away from just popping it on him. But he shouldn't pop it on Supercharger, obviously. Does not respect the pallet there, and Supercharger just throws it in his face. Has to break his pallets. Mythic so far hasn't chosen to break any of the pallets. But everyone else just doing the thing, and Pudding is a broken key. What a great item. Finds Apple, who is cleansing a totem. Will heal Pudding up nice and good like. As Mythic is still chasing Supercharger, as everyone else has just been working on gens and doing their thing, getting held up. And yeah, that was really not a hit in my book. As Supercharger gets down there and Mythic downs him in the shack. I'm busy. busy. Sorry, people moving about. Had to talk to him, saying I'm doing stuff. Anyway, I missed. Apparently, Supercharger. Yeah, he just got hooked, and then Applesauce came in for the rescue. There you go. And the tier 3 goes out on Apple, who goes down and gets picked up right in the basement there. No one can body block or do anything. He goes on hook for this first time, as gens have already been pretty much, like 2 gens I think have been, at least 1 have been 99, and 2 gens have been popped. Supercharger is just waiting in the middle of the shack, and Mythic just comes over and will almost guaranteed hit him here. And Supercharger really needs to lead him away so people can get Applesauce, who's could go into stage struggle at any time. Costco moves in for the unhook on Applesauce, and then same with Pudding. And Pudding managed to find a green flashlight in that chest that he searched earlier. And Mythic just goes for the straight down on Applesauce again, but finds Costco again, and he's a 1 tap away from getting tier 3 again, and he will pop it. He doesn't pop it on Pudding there, but he spots Supercharger in the corner and goes down, and Supercharger gets picked up, but Pudding will attempt the flashlight save, and he gets it. Supercharger now being chased around the shack, and he needs to get away once again so Applesauce can go up. But he just takes him around by the pallet. He'll go down there as he seemingly warps the other side of the pallet there, but Apple's now back up and fine. And he picks Mythic picks up Supercharger, and they move in for the killer stun and save, but timed a little too early, and he's just still going in for the hook. As everyone else is injured except for Costco here. I really hate how Costco's dressed, by the way. Like, steal my look pretty much. Oh, Mythic pops that tier 3 and downs Pudding immediately. Saw the rest of them, he just decides to pick up Pudding anyway. As Supercharger's dying on hook. And Costco looked like he wanted to move in on the unhook, but doesn't commit to it. As Mythic makes his way over there. Mythic just kind of patrolling around, seeing the generators, sees everyone else. His tier 3, where's his tier 3 at? His tier 3 is a little over half done, but it'll be enough to down all 3 of them here if they're not careful. The Supercharger, the first one to go down. Who will be next? They're all hiding in lockers, I'm pretty sure. Alright, it's roulette, except for Costco is not hiding in the locker, and he gets down. So, Pudding at this point will probably go into struggle, as Apple just breaks out of the locker to go presumably save Pudding. That's exactly what he does. And Mythic is onto that, so he just makes his way straight over there. Gets his stock up once again, primarily on Pudding. He's already halfway to tier 3. But with Mythic going for Pudding, Apple actually has enough time to get both Supercharger and Costco up and healed. Costco first to get up, or first to get saved, and then Supercharger after Pudding has successfully looped Mythic around long enough. So Pudding doing a great job of all of this, as everyone is just getting healed up, but he might inadvertently run straight to where they're all healing. And that's pretty much what he did, except for Mythic is not seeing nor caring. But again, Pudding gets downed and will be put on hook, as no generators have seen any work so far, as it's just been a tug of war between hooks and unhooks, as Mythic sees scratch marks around, and who is around? It's Supercharger. He's just continuously walking around, and Mythic just gives up and walks away to that generator, as Pudding is still struggling. Mythic, though, losing sight on everyone here. He is still a tap away, like a half second away from getting that tier 3 again. Here's someone working on this generator and looks the wrong way as they ran behind him. It was pretty much applesauce. That was applesauce. And Mythic just looks the completely wrong way. As Costco searches the chest in the basement, finds a map. If you hand it off to Apple, that would be a great boost of points for him. And Mythic surprisingly pops the tier 3 on Apple, who is already injured. And Apple's just using the buses. And Mythic seemingly lost him there, but just regained sight. His gens are just being worked on. The one being worked on by the bus, Supercharger, was there. And Mythic really wants Supercharger. Even mid-chase with Apple, he just broke off. He hears he hears Apple crying by the bus and doubles back to find Costco and Apple, and decides to go on to Apple even though he could have made it to Costco and downed him. Pudding in Charger going for a gen, while Apple is now getting chased, throwing a pallet that did not connect. Running around enough though to pretty much waste his tier 3, Mythic's that is, because he didn't get a hit. He popped it on Apple to hit him, but he didn't get a hit nor on Supercharger, who he broke off for. But he refines some survivors by the bus, and he has full Hunter and Brutality, he just needs the rest of the Deviousness, which he needs to keep stalking and hooking through. Gets the M1 off on Pudding there, who vaulted the window of the bus. And Apple finds Pudding, and they have a heal session behind the truck. How romantic. Mythic gets, or Costco actually gets hit by Mythic at the shack. And Mythic hearing the heals of both Apple and Pudding, but thinks it's behind him. Or he just doesn't care and wants to get the gem. All four of them by the bus generator, and Costco being the odd man out. I'm surprised he hasn't given the map to Apple yet. Maybe Apple just doesn't want it, or no. Oh yeah, because Apple has the flashlight. But Mythic's there to interrupt the party, and goes on to Pudding. He takes an M1 at the pallet as Mythic goes around it. Mythic just kicks in the gen while Apple watches. But Mythic doubles back and spots Apple. I'm pretty sure he heard Pudding. And Mythic takes the opportunity to stalk a little, which he was very close to popping tier 3, and he does on Costco, who's cleansing a totem, and Costco has no pallets to work with here except for that one window. And will he make it? If he had swung earlier, I believe Mythic would have gotten the down, but he didn't. But he kicks in the gen and has no sight on anyone anymore. Mythic really wants these gens up because it's part of his 3-gen. And he sees Supercharger, but he thought he heard someone working on the gen behind him at the bus, and Supercharger for some reason just kept crouching when it was obvious he was there. And Supercharger is dead on hook, so if he gets picked up, the pressure for these survivors increases, and spots Apple while still in tier 3. Costco closest to Supercharger, as Apple is still fighting Mythic around the shack. And Dr. Pudding moves in to help Costco res Supercharger, but Mythic doubles back on them. Thinking they're at a generator that they're not, has no indication of where these survivors are, as everyone gets healed up here. Apple on a completely different gen, working on that just to get another gen out. No, he's not. He's working on part of the 3-gen, not a solo though. As Pudding and Charger work on the middle one that Mythic wants to keep digressed and stuff. He's running out of charges for his tier 3 on Pudding and Supercharger. That he needs to almost, it'd be wise of him to get one of them out of the game and kill them. Though he maxes his 100 points and soon his brutality, his deviousness isn't looking bad either if he just gets a bonus hit after this tier 3. With Costco being chased, Supercharger, Pudding, and Applesauce working on 2 gens that are part of the 3-gen strat, so his 3-gen strat is falling apart here as he continues back to that 1 gen to kick it in. And Costco really badly wants this totem that serves him really no purpose, except for I guess just baiting out Mythic as Applesauce finishes up on the 3rd gen and the 3-gen strat. Mythic popping the tier 3 on Costco, but just kicks in the gen instead of getting the first sure hit on Costco. The Supercharger being in the gen in the middle runs away as well, and he will go down here if he doesn't find a window or something. And Mythic actually whiffs the hit on him and has no idea where he went, or just wants to double back to that generator that Apple is actually at. And Mythic doesn't see Apple in the bushes there. Pudding's there as well. And Costco just on the other side of the map. And Mythic finds Supercharger once again. He's running out of tier 3. He's going to have to get the hit right now or he's not going to get it at all. And he will because there's no pallet there. And if Supercharger gets hooked, he's dead. As Mythic discovers the 99 gen and part of the 3 gen is gone. And Supercharger gets picked up for his death hook. As Apple and Pudding take the opportunity to get the middle gen and 3 gen out of the way. They will pop this for sure to just break it up. Rest in peace, Supercharger. Mythic sauce Pudding by the Bustion once again and attempts the M1 on Pudding and Pudding on the pallet. You can see the latency issue there as Pudding was probably spamming the keyboard, just didn't throw down in time, but luckily he didn't get hit by it. And Pudding baiting out the pallet drop on Mythic, and he attempts it again, but this time Mythic just straight up did not respect the pallet. Pudding tried it again with throwing the pallet this time, but respected too much. Except for the second one, where Pudding gets the first stun off on him. And Applesauce opening one of the 2 exit gates while Costco is just kind of searching the map with Pudding in trouble. Pudding heading to an exit gate that Apple might be on? I'm not sure what exit gate that is. No, I do not. That is not the exit gate. He spots Costco to his left, but still just going for Pudding. And has no clue where to look or continue following Pudding, so he just goes to check the gate by the crane that Apple opened. And where did Apple go? Apple went to heal up Pudding by the shack, and Costco opening the second exit gates that Mythic spots him at, and Costco's just holding it, not letting go, and finally does, and Mythic attempting to stalk Costco, but does not have enough stock on Costco to get a tier 3 pop out of it. Costco for certain will go down here if he plays this right. There's no pallets left in this area of the map. If Mythic can just keep up with Costco. As he sees Pudding by the trucks there too. Costco goes for the window, but he's too late as Mythic was right there for him. Apple chilling by the crane exit as Mythic heard Pudding around here and finds him hiding behind a barrel as Pudding tries to book it to the exit gate or just lure him away from Costco, but he just goes right back to Costco. Very interesting game because Mythic had this, like, it was very scary for the survivors. Mythic had it so early that, you know, one of them could potentially die, and then it just, he couldn't keep it up, tried to stick to 3 gen, but they kept the pressure on, like, beautifully. They played it very well. With Pudding being healed up again by Applesauce, Costco goes on for his struggle. Yeah, for his struggle hit. So they'll make the choice. It'll be Apple's choice to go for the unsave, or the unhook, because of his altruism and him being the only one that matters in this game for Survivor's side. Mythic spotting Pudding, who has exhausted all his stock on Pudding. I'm pretty sure you can only stock a little bit left from Costco and a little bit left from Applesauce. Applesauce has max bold, so, and I believe max objective. So maybe he is lacking a little bit in the altruism and this is why he needs it, and he's deciding to go for it right now. And as Mythic commits to the chase on Pudding, gets to the max on Ultras on Costco, and he Applesauce attempting to body block for him, but they just ran into a rock and stood there. And yeah, the stock off on Apple was enough to almost guarantee the tier 3, but Mythic goes for Pudding and has exhausted the stock from there and throws the pallet in Mythic's face. Pudding is nowhere near another pallet, and if he goes down here, I think he's also on either struggle or death hook. He attempts there's a pallet between him and the exit gate, and he throws it down. He's going to be able to get free, but he decides to just double back on it, and Costco leaves the match with Pudding and Applesauce still in it. It's pretty much a stare down between Mythic and Pudding at this pallet. If he just breaks the pallet, I don't think Pudding has enough room to go for it. Pudding is in the crane, just watching and waiting as Apple is creeping around the shack, and Mythic does break the pallet. And Pudding just backs up the other side, but that was a mistake because Mythic was there waiting, and Mythic will get the down on Pudding here. This Pudding attempts a 360 on Mythic, as Mythic just watches Mia's Pute on the ground. Pudding wiggling, but it won't be enough. As Mythic puts him on hook for his death hook. And Apple just waiting around for the hatch to open. He has a pallet there waiting, and he's just flashlighting around, spotlighting. Jumps in the hatch for the game to be over. And that gives Apple the 29,000 in this game as well. So Apple, you heard it, 29,000. Costco second with 26,334. Pudding with 17,390. Supercharger 14,806, and Mythic with 28,894.
Wrecker's Yard is Leatherface on Auto-Haven Records.
Okay, so...
Alright, so immediately, like, looking around, I have somewhat of a 3-gen strat. I'm not going to go for that because I don't play like that, but we're going to sell immediately.
It's a good way to play, though.
Yeah, I mean, I immediately see Costco in the... Or that's not Costco, that's Puddin' Pop. So I'm going to go ahead and give Puddin' Pop a piece of my mind.
You can shit out some pudding.
Gave some Puddin' Pop piece of my mind from the left click. Puddin' Pop.
You see those orange spots? That's where the other killers carved some pudding out.
Yeah, dude.
That's why we have Survivor pudding. Oh.
Damn. Alright, doesn't matter, he's going down. Nope. Don't get that window. Get out of here. Sit down.
Oof. Shaking some pudding off of your hammer.
Yeah, shake some pudding and tea off here, you British man.
Oh god.
We're going to the basement. Oh,
No
shit.
Brits allowed.
The pallet's not on this side, sucks for you, buddy.
This is what we call anal rape.
Careful. PG-13, PG-13.
Alright, I'll stop.
Back hook for our boy.
Alright.
Oh,
Oh,
Costco, I see
double.
you, boy.
Juicy double.
I see you, boy. I want you. Come here.
So what's the story behind Costco's orange spots?
What? I didn't even get hit by that?
Okay, I don't know how you didn't get that. Probably should have gotten that, dude.
Whack ass game. Wacky.
Like, personally, I don't... The thing is, whenever I do manage to get, like, the Vault's chainsaw, I always end up hitting the bottom of the window.
Yeah, that's what it's like. I was confused because I was either going to get one or the other.
Yeah, and then you just get neither.
Shack.
Costco wants to beat JT.
Hey, Apple. I should really be going for Apple and really just
Yeah.
but, you know.
That kind of takes the fun out of it.
Yeah. You got a friend in me.
Alright, so Skooks Apple was just looping you here. Oh, never mind. Do you remember back when, if you're, like, I'm not sure if it's still a feature, but when if you were too close to the path with Hillbilly, you just collide,
Yeah.
not break it. That confused me for, like, my first 2 matches as Hillbilly. It's like, the tutorial said I can break it with my chainsaw, why can I not break it?
Oh yeah, you have to hit the mark.
It had to be like a meter, not a whole meter, but like 50 centimeters. No, not even that. Just it had to be away.
Yeah.
I know measurements science very well. Who's gonna get the chainsaw? Mythic. Good old snap on the back. Good job. You're taking the heat, kiddo. God, this commentary is abysmal. Make it end.
No, you're fine. You're good. I'm like pressing my face against the monitor. No, putting. You see, you ain't getting
That's
it.
a sign.
You ain't getting it. You ain't getting. I'm gonna bloodlust warrior you, friend. Oh no, you ain't. Oh shit.
You done fucked up.
Alright, nothing.
Do you remember, like, for the day after Leatherface's release, Bloodlust increased your chainsaw speed? Like, the charge?
No, I don't remember that. If that actually happened, it would be surprised.
That actually was a feature, that as he got more Bloodlust, he could charge his chainsaw faster. It wasn't like a small amount either, it was like actually a ridiculous amount.
I messed that up so goddamn bad.
Yeah, you went for the mind games. Welcome back to the Love Shack.
Yeah.
Okay, my cousin just referenced Minecraft, not Minecraft.
Now I'm just playing with you.
Shut up, Michael. He said mind games or like mind games, am I right? Oh boy.
You don't realize.
Alright, so that's Mr. Puddin's second hook. And he's the only one that's been hooked so far. Are you gonna get a penalty for that?
What? No.
Oh yeah, Costco as well. So Costco, Dr. Puddin's on his death hook now. And Costco's got 1 hook on his belt. Are you gonna try to get Apple now?
So I'm chasing.
Alright. So what do you think of, like, do you think you having the past couple of matches gives you some sort of advantage?
No.
You know how they play? Oh, the side, just, oh, that's brutal.
The best part of live streaming is like you get to hear all the
Yeah.
And there's a 6.
Yeah, but the thing is, Apple was trying to, like, he used the window too much and he ended up fucking himself over.
Yeah, I
There's 2 of them over here. I think that was just yeah. There you are. Get out of here.
Yeah, Legacy though. So that was Apple's first hook, right? I'm trying to.
Yeah.
Alright. So Costco and Apple are on their struggle hooks, and Pudding is on his death hook. 2 gens done. Looks like things are looking up for Skooks. Is that how you say it? I don't know.
Skooks.
Skooks, okay. Spooky, scary skeletons.
Shutting down this one.
Alright, so Costco's injured and Apple got healed up off of the hook.
Stop it, Costco.
And Costco's going down and getting hooked. But the survivors finishing a gen.
Oh boy, I can tunnel mode activated. Like,
Oh boy, oh boy. It's that time of the match.
yeah.
Thing is, I'm not sure if I was safe on that survivor call, like all three of them being on it, like popping that gen, because for all you know, it could have only been one. So, god damn it.
Who's around? Someone's around. Show yourselves.
I know Yo ain't trying to mess with my hooked survivor right now.
Costco gets unhooked right
Skooks going on patrol, and Costco gets unhooked. And he finds Mythic, who is going to get a chainsaw. This will be Mythic's first hook of the match, I want to say.
Yes.
Alright. I don't know if I'm supposed to be like the head of the stream, like in terms of commentary right now, but I'm still referring to you. Oh, so they're not taking any chances with you.
Yeah, neither of these. Is that a saboed hook?
They saboed your hook.
God damn it, Mythic.
That's what happens when you end the chase too early. They want that bonus.
If he runs back to that spot, this boy's getting slugged.
He's getting slugged.
Son of a bitch.
Not even hooked yet. Poor boy gets slugged. What?
Fucking kidding me.
That should not have happened, dude. Okay, now are you gonna slug him? Because now you can carry him to the hook. To slug or not to slug? That is the question. And we choose not to slug.
Nah, dude. I ain't that scummy. I just want Costco dead. They could all get out of the way. I just want
Oh, dude, you. I'm not gonna reveal anything, but you're gonna want Costco down.
Yeah, down, really down. He's probably the
No,
one.
no, the man has luck. So Costco is on his death hook. Mythic is on his.
Oh, boy, I saw you. There you go.
So putting in Costco on their death hook and Mythic.
Give an example.
And Mythic and Apple have both been hooked once. Right? Don't know how to keep track of survivors. Alright, so you're gonna kill him here, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh boy. I'm just saying this is probably a good thing that you're killing him right now too, because he has something that's not friendly to you at this stage.
Probably a purple key, like knowing my luck.
Nope. Oh, can I say it now that he's dead?
Yeah,
But no, I'm not gonna say it because somebody else can come pick it up.
Making me like feel very nervous.
You know, I'll just say it. He had a purple engineer's toolbox. Oh.
Where are you? Hmm? Show yourself. I know you. It's a game. I knew it!
Now we play the waiting. Oh my gosh. Welcome to Dead by Daylight Roulette.
Yeah, sure.
I'm your host, Supercharger.
You stay there. You think about picking up people's items.
Alright, so now everybody in the match... No, not everybody. Mythic still has to be hooked one more. Mythic's still on his struggle hook, but Pudding and Apple now are both on death hook. This is looking up for Skooks. God damn it, I can't pronounce anything. So chasing down Mythic right to Mythic with the preemptive pallet drop. Doesn't make too much sense. Takes a hit from it. Heading to Shack right towards the other two.
Putting pop.
And oh no! The killer's hungry for some pudding. Takes the hit.
You know as much as I do that was latency, but I don't care, pudding. Get out of here. I'll end one you to death.
Oh lord.
Just ring pop on you.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Gets executed. Execute order 66.
Going out on all the clods.
Yep.
Alright, hello.
No clods versus. Okay, so clods versus the Nias. Nias are the dark side. Oh, and exit gates are open. Both survivors are injured. Now it's just gonna play out. Since this is a pro pug format, no one is gonna have Iron Will, so it should be relatively easy for you to track them.
I have a 50-50 chance of finding one working on a door, and I didn't. Great. Fantastic. Not too far away, but like...
Oh boy. Boy.
Boy! Get off that egg! No, boy!
Boy!
Oh, you so...
Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna tell you something after the match, and you are gonna be embarrassed.
Oh, someone's here, someone's here.
Yeah.
No, I know. I probably missed him, but he's here.
You missed him hard.
I'm just coming out the front.
No, he's not here. I missed him. Great.
Alright, Apple is just being toxic at the gate. And he's gone.
Toxic.
Bad apple in the bunch. Oh, and Mythic with the Hatchetscape. And the scores are Mythic with a 24k in the lead, Apple with a 23, Costco and Pudding with a sad 13 and 12. And Skooks, the Leatherface himself.
Whoa, the 24k. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oof. That's gonna. That may hurt a bit depending on other people's performance.
Oh, no. I already slept through 2 matches, so it's like, whatever. I'm out, but it was fun. But that wraps up today's games pretty much. Yeah, it does. So there's 2 games tomorrow. One in the morning, I don't know what time, and the second game this time. So I don't know if I'm pretty sure Dragon is casting both. If not, just the morning one. I'll probably be casting the second one. But thank you, Supercharger, for keeping me company here and using your insight and casting that last game.
No, it's an honor, man.
Alright.
Because when Star reached out to me and said, "Hey, do you want to co-cast?" I was actually like, "Oh my god, what the fuck is happening?"
Yeah.
You chose a scrub like me. The world is ending. Send help. Armageddon.
Yeah, I mean, it's same. It's just like, hey, can you stream? And I like never streamed before, but yeah, it's a good time. It's fun times. It's fun times.
Yeah, it's fun time.
But thanks to everyone for playing, watching, opinionating. Hope you all get drank apparently in the chat.
Drank? What?
Drank. We'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.
See ya.